Lawyers for David Hicks have been in court today trying to stop the government seizing the profits from his autobiography. The book, Guantanamo My Journey, is the account of his time at Guantanamo Bay Detention Centre on charges of supporting terrorism. It sold 30,000 copies. Reporter Carl Herr is outside the Supreme Court in Sydney.
Well, Ros, the judge this morning ordered the freezing of assets belonging to a family trust and a company connected to David Hicks. What that means is that the assets cannot be sold or dealt with until the order is revoked, presumably when the case is resolved, and there's no indication of when that might be. David Hicks himself wasn't in court this morning. He and the DPP were represented by lawyers. They said that they had been in talks about the case, but they weren't in a position to resolve it amongst themselves.
Could this result in a jail sentence for David Hicks if he refuses to hand over the proceeds from his book?
That would seem highly unlikely, and it appears that that option has been effectively taken away from him this morning with the judge's order. However, the case has generated a lot of anger amongst David Hicks's supporters, and a small group of protesters gathered outside the Supreme Court this morning. They labelled this case an outrageous attack on freedom of speech. I spoke to one independent publisher who said that she was concerned that this action could have consequences for the viability of the publishing industry. And amongst those who were attending the protest was the Greens member for New South Wales, the Upper House MP, David Shoebridge, and he was highly critical of this action.
It's no wonder that the Australian Attorney-General wants to silence people like David Hicks. This is a warning bell for others from the Australian government not to publish the truth, not to tell their full story. And the Australian people need to stand up against our Attorney-General and say, stop these proceedings now.
So, Carl, David Hicks' father, Terry, has been very vocal on this issue. Was he in court today?
No, Ros, Terry Hicks wasn't in court today. Of course, he has been a vocal supporter of his son, David Hicks. He was also highly critical of the decision that was announced by the Commonwealth DPP to launch this action. No doubt he'll continue to support his son, however, throughout this case. In terms of the action itself, the case has been adjourned for 2 weeks, in which both parties have said that they will continue talking to each other, but the case will return here to the Supreme Court in a fortnight.
Thank you, Cal.